Assalamu alaikum dear students. Hopefully you are well and good and must be catching up with the lectures on time. That is very necessary. Please, if you have missed any of the lectures, if you have missed any step or phase of the STLC life cycle, I'm telling you again and again, you would not be able to digest or grasp the concepts of further steps or phases. So kindly, in order to go through these steps or phases, you need to go through first of all the previous phases. So do catch up with those lectures. Okay dear students, if we talk about what we have done till date, as you know that we are doing system development life cycle, which is the process of creating or altering information systems, database systems or software systems, and the models and methodologies that experts use to develop these systems. The term system is a Greek word meaning to place together. System means to place together. So it can be defined as a set of interrelated components having a clearly defined boundary that work together to achieve a common set of objectives. So the basic purpose of system development life cycle is to develop a system in a systematic way in the perfect manner, using a sequence of activities, using a sequence of steps. A system development life cycle has three primary main objectives. Number one, ensuring that high quality systems are delivered. Number two, providing strong management controls over the projects, and due to the steps and phases of STLC, it is possible, and it maximizes the productivity. So these are the three main objectives of STLC. If we talk about the stakeholders of STLC, those are the entities or groups which are either within the organization or outside of the organization, and they can sponsor, plan, or develop or use a project or propose or a developed system or software. The planning of software development life cycle determines the objective of the project and considers the requirements to produce the product. While the feasibility study, if we talk about after planning phase, if we talk about the feasibility study, it is used to assess the strengths and weaknesses of a proposed project and presents directions of activities which will improve a project and achieve desired results. If we talk about the analysis phase, during the analysis phase of STLC, the project team determines the end user requirements, not the requirements of the customer who demanded the software, but the requirements of the end user requirements. In STLC, requirement engineering which is also called as requirement analysis. This requirement engineering is the process of determining user expectations for a new or modified system, for an existing system, for a new system. While the design phase in STLC is the architectural phase of system design, the flow of data processing is developed into charts, and the project team determines the most logical design and structure for data flow and design in design phase. While if, certain tools or techniques are used in the design phase in order to develop the logical design, an algorithm and a flow chart. So an algorithm is a specific set of instructions for carrying out a procedure or solving a problem, while a flow chart is a type of diagram that represents an algorithm or a process. So our today's objective is very clear. As you know, we are done with defining phase, planning phase, feasibility analysis, requirement engineering, and design phase till this moment, till this date. Now, in our today's lecture, the aim and objective of our today's lecture is to discuss the development phase. So, development phase is also called as construction or coding phase. During the construction or coding or development phase of STLC, developers execute the plans laid out in the design phase. As told you earlier, the designs which have been created in the design phase, those designs are put into, you can say that they are basically put into life using the coding, using the programming. So on the basis of those prototypes, on the basis of those designs, codes are generated, codes are developed, but codes are developed on the basis of those designs. Once the software design phase completes, then the next phase is the development phase, coding phase, or programming phase, where we start to develop the actual system. Now, development phase is the most important phase of all the other steps or phases of SDLC, because here the coding begins. In this phase, the programmers team, the coders team, receives the blueprint or design of the project and starts the logical coding in a programming language. Before starting the coding or programming of that designed software, of that design, they have to choose a programming language, a high-level programming language, because every programming language is different from other programming language. So they would choose specific programming language, and then by using that programming language, they would start the coding or programming of that proposed system or software on the basis of a design or blueprint. So this is a coding phase where programmers or coders start to develop the system by writing codes, by writing multiple sets of codes, hundreds and thousands sets of codes using the programming languages. They already decide they've already decided that which language they would use for developing this system, and how many coders or programmers would be there in order to develop the software. If the software is too huge, the coding would be lengthy, then in that case one programmer would not be enough. If the proposed system is huge, then multiple programmers or coders can be used in order to develop the coding of the software. In the development phase, the whole work is divided into modules. That is very important, that in development phase the whole work of coding is divided into modules and assigned to various developers, various coders, various programmers if the proposed system is huge. The whole system is developed into modules or units, means the work is first divided into small groups. The system is first divided into small programs. To develop the system, all levels of developers are involved. Senior programmers or coders are involved, junior programmers are involved, etc. So development is the phase when the real action will start happening. It's the coding part. The coding part begins once the developing team gets the design document in their hands. The developers will generate the programming code as per the above documents. There are different programming languages that will be chosen depending on the type of the software. The different high scale of programming languages include C, C++, Pascal, Java, JavaScript, Python, PHP, and there are dozens and dozens of programming languages out there in the market. So tasks or modules will be divided into or work will be divided into various modules. Among those developers or programmers or coders, each programmer would be assigned with a different module so that he can do the coding for that module only. The output of this stage is a source code document, means the deliverable, the output or the deliverable of development stage is SDC, source code document, like the deliverable of design phase was DDS. So SDC, source code document, is the deliverable of development or coding or construction phase, and a developed product that will be moved to the testing phase. So the deliverable includes the source code document SDC and a developed product that will be moved to the testing phase. So if we talk about building the software or construction of the software, after finalizing the software requirements, specifications, SRS document, software design features, and the software system architecture, the next step is to actually start building the software through coding. Depending upon the type of the software being developed, the software development team can select the technology to be used for the development of the software. The software development team can select the suitable platform, programming languages, software framework, database management system, and other building tools as specified in the software system architecture. So coding is the third phase of software development. Detailed design specifications are used as the input by the developers to build the software product. So the input for the development or construction phase is the detailed design specification, which was designed in the design phase. So the main focus of this phase is development. Entire design will be broken into modules, and developers will work on individual modules. Then they will integrate after, when each and every programmer or coder or developer would be done working on his assigned module. When all the programmers or coders would stop developing the modules, would be done with the modules, at the end all these modules would be combined. All these modules would be integrated into one final system. This step is also known as programming phase. The implementation of software design starts in terms of writing the program code in the suitable programming language and developing error-free executable programs efficiently. During the construction phase, developers execute the plans laid out in the design phase. So the construction or the development or the coding of the proposed system is done on the basis of the designs prepared in the design phase. The developers design the database, generate the code for the data flow process, and design the actual user interface screens. During the construction phase, test data is prepared and processed as many times as necessary to refine the code. Means the code is developed. That's one thing. But the code is also refined. It is compiled again and again, processed. That code is processed again and again in order to refine it. This code is written in programming languages. Coding is also called computer programming. In the coding phase, tasks are divided into units or modules and assigned to the various developers. It is the longest phase of the software development lifecycle process. The software product is coded according to the specifications specified in the software requirement specifications document. That is a very important point. The software product, the proposed software, the proposed system is coded according to the specifications specified in the SRS document and in the DDS document. Means the coding of the proposed system is strictly based on the SRS document and the DDS document. In this phase, developers need to follow certain predefined coding guidelines. They also need to use programming tools like compiler, interpreters, debuggers to generate and implement the code to refine the code. So here in this program, your algorithm has been implemented. If you carefully examine this code, this code is based on the previous algorithm, that flowchart which we actually already have discussed in the design phase. If you clearly understood the concepts of design phase, if you clearly understood the concepts of algorithm and flowchart, then in that case you would be able to understand the concepts of that code. Otherwise you would not be able to. So that would be highly recommended that if you want to grasp the concept of this code, you need to go through the algorithm and flowchart concept. So in algorithm, we actually developed an algorithm in order to know the result of a student if a student is passed or failed. If a student gets higher marks or equal to 40, then he would be considered as passed. But if a student gets less marks than 40, then he would be considered as failed. That was the algorithm which we actually implemented in the flowchart. Here, that code has been implemented by using the syntax of C++ high-level language. This hash include iostream.h, hash include conio.h. These are the header files of C++. We have used a programming language, C++, in order to write down this code. Integer main, this is the main function from where the execution of the program starts. Then float is the data type, percentage is the variable. When we want to store some value, we have to use the variable. Then cout is used to print some statement as it is, then cin, it is a function which is used to input a value into the variable percentage. Then the condition is that if percentage is greater than 40, then print that the student is passed. But if the value of the percentage is less than 40, then print the student is fail, and then the program would end. So here percentage is the variable. If I'm giving a value of 70, I'm giving the value of 70 to this variable percentage. Now this percentage variable has got the value of 70. This condition would say that if percentage has got the value of 70, if 70 is greater than is equal to 40, no, 70 is greater than, not is equal to 40, but 70 is greater than 40. That means this condition is true and pass would be printed on the screen. But if I give 25 to the percentage variable, if I am giving the value of 25 to the percentage, now percentage has got the value of 25. If we compare percentage with 40, now 25 is not greater than or is equal to 40. 25 is less than 40. So the condition has become false. No. So fail would be printed on the screen. Dear students, at the end of this lecture, I just want to assure you that you would be able to understand the programming once you would come to chapter number 3. These all concepts are the concepts of header files and main functions and C and C out. These are relevant to chapter number 3. So don't panic at all. You don't need to panic here. Inshallah, you would grasp the concepts of coding from chapter number 3 onwards. You just have to understand the code here because it was mentioned in the development stage. Till then, just relax. You would clearly grasp the concepts once the chapter 3 would start. For today, we are done with our phase of development or coding. The deliverable or the output of this phase would be like a working software, a software which is now working, which has been coded. So the deliverable of development phase is a working software, and that working software would be further sent to the testing phase for testing. So inshallah, in our next lecture we would be discussing the concepts of testing. Till then, revise all the phases, all the steps, because we are moving towards the end of STLC, System Development Life Cycle, and you have to go through all the lectures extensively in order to get proper grasp of the concepts. So in our next lecture we will be studying the phase of testing. Till then, Allah Hafiz.